It's like a chore, it feels like a chore. What's up, Ankit here. Last minute exam prep. You're probably making some serious study mistakes. And in this video, we're revealing what students are actually doing wrong when they're cramming for the last minute. Plus, the brain science that you need to know to study smarter, even when you're out of time.
Yeah, boy.
Let's start with strategic skimming, becoming a textbook detective. When you're studying, it's just not about blindly flipping those pages. You want to be a detective looking for clues that the author has left you. When you hit those headings and subheadings, don't just glance at them. Think of them as a mini summaries of the sections to come. Mentally or physically, jot down a quick idea of what that section will cover. Then, when you read the first and the last sentence of a paragraph, you're often getting the core argument or conclusion. It's actually like the author giving you like a headline and the final thought. Bolded keywords and definitions are your VIP passes to understanding the chapter's core concept. Highlight them, make a mental note, and if you have time, quickly try and define them in your own words. And never ever underestimate the power of diagrams, visuals, and the graphs. They often present a complex idea into an easily digestible format. Spend some time analyzing and reading the captions. The goal here isn't just to see the information, it's to actively engage with the structure and the key elements of each chapter to build that foundational understanding quickly. Now, let's talk serious memory power with active recall, your brain's ultimate workout. Passive rereading is just like you're watching a workout video. It might feel like you're actually doing something, but in reality, we all know, you know, that you're actually not doing anything. It's not like you're actually building the muscle just watching the video, right? Therefore, this system, the active recall, forces your brain to actively retrieve that information and strengthens those neural pathways. In the previous section, we already talked about turning those headings into like a quick flashcard. But let's go a bit further. After you skim the section, try and summarize it in your own words, out loud or in writing, without looking back at the text. This actually forces you to synthesize and process the information. And another powerful technique is mind mapping. As you go through a chapter, create a visual representation in your brain of the key concepts and relationships regarding the chapter. And this helps you see the bigger picture and connect the things here and there, because most likely it's interrelated anyways. So this is just a better way, an easier way for you to grasp the idea as soon as possible. And don't just teach your pet. If you have a study buddy, even a virtual one, there's like tons of different ways where you can do it, where you can have like a virtual study buddy. Try and explain these concepts to each other. This act of articulating information solidifies it in your own mind and helps you identify the areas where you might still be fuzzy. The main key of active recall is to constantly test yourself and force your brain to actually retrieve that information. Now, let's go a little bit deeper with interleaving, the art of strategic subject switching. Your brain might actually feel like it learns best by focusing on one thing until mastery, but cognitive science suggests otherwise. This thing was something I was getting wrong most of my life. I wish someone would have told me this sooner, but it's actually hurting you than helping you. When you study one thing for like a long period of like an extended period of time, your brain can fall into a state of blocking where it actually relies in short-term memory and doesn't really engage in deeper processing. Interleaving, by contrast, forces your brain to discriminate between different topics and retrieve the appropriate information for each problem or concept. It's actually like switching gears in a car. It keeps the engine running efficiently. So instead of spending 3 hours on chapter 1, try and spend like 45 minutes on chapter 1, then switch to a different section from chapter 5, and maybe, if there is, maybe do some practice problems from chapter 8 or 9 or whatever it is. This constant switching will feel terrible when you start. It's gonna feel hard. It feels like you're actually doing nothing, but in reality you are training your brain to actually get that information into a deeper understanding, and it actually leads to a better long-term retention. It actually helps you see that connection between the different topics that you're studying and improves your ability to apply the knowledge that you've just studied in different concepts. And now for the often neglected hero of the cramming session. You might be surprised, but it's sleep. Yes, sleep. Your secret weapon for memory consolidation. And I know, when you're facing like 10 chapters in one night, it feels like sleep is a luxury that you can't even afford it. But skimping on sleep is actually counterproductive. Especially on the deeper stages, your brain actively works to consolidate the memories you formed while studying, and this actually strengthens the neural connections and transfers information from short-term storage to long-term storage. Pulling an all-nighter might actually allow you to spend more time into looking at the material, but your brain won't be able to actually process and retain it. Even a short nap can significantly improve your cognitive function and memory recall. So that's why prioritize getting at least a few hours of sleep if possible. And that pre-sleep review that we talked about earlier, it's especially important because your brain will continue to process that as you drift off. Think of it as giving your brain that last nudge in the right direction before it goes into solidifying those memories. And now let's get specific about your Crammer's toolkit, optimizing your environment and resources. When it comes to hydration, plain water is your best bet for keeping your brain functioning optimally. I know coffee can provide a temporary boost, but be mindful of the crash later on, because what actually coffee does is takes the energy from future you and gives it to the present you. So the future you is likely to get way more tired than normal. For brain food, think complex carbohydrates for sustained energy, like whole grain crackers or a small bowl of oatmeal. Protein to keep you feeling full and focused, like nuts or Greek yogurt. And healthy fats, avocados or almonds, which are crucial for brain health. And especially in these times, avoid sugary stuffs, sugary candies or snacks that will lead to energy spikes and crashes. And when it actually comes to your timer, try and use the Pomodoro technique, in which you can do is work for 25 minutes, take the 5-minute break, and keep repeating until you're done. This actually helps maintain that concentration and prevents burnout, which is very crucial. And if you have those fancy noise cancelling headphones, definitely try and use it to minimize those distractions when you are deep into your work. If not, because it's never going to be perfect for anyone, try and at least find a quiet corner where you can actually focus on the deep work that you actually want to do. Be it in your house, be in that coffee shop that no one comes around, anywhere that you actually won't be interrupted for sure. And finally, your study space matters. Choose a desk or table where you can spread out your materials and maintain that good posture. And if you're watching this right now, like with a slanted posture, fix it right now and avoid studying in bed, as your brain actually associates it with sleeping. So it's actually going to be harder to focus. Usually, I like to read right before my bedtime and actually helps me go to sleep faster. And look, tackling 10 chapters in one night is a daunting task. It's never gonna be an ideal way to study, especially for the long-term retention of that knowledge. But by using these strategic techniques, focusing on efficient information intake, actively engaging with the material, optimizing your study time, and heck, even prioritizing a little bit of sleep, you're giving yourself the best possible chance to survive the exam. Remember to take short breaks, stay hydrated, and always try to manage those stress levels. It's so hard in this fast-paced world. Don't rush. It's alright. Take it easy. Take it slow. I believe in you. You've got this. And if you want to learn more, I have this video up here that actually goes deeper into how to get into more focus. This might actually help you getting that focus thingy going on, be more productive. Go put this strategy into action. I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.